Supporting diverse and marginalized students. Presenters, Dr. Betty Butler, Dr. Melissa Harris, Dr. Jennifer Hayes, and Dr. Jocelyn Johnson. Instructor Certification Course, Professor Jeffrey Folks. Culture is a blend of thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, values, and behavior patterns that are shared by ethnic or social groups of people. Language is one of the dimensions of culture. It is part of individuals' heritage, family, community, and education. The values and beliefs of culture are embedded in language. Pedagogy provides specific strategies and activities for teaching in ways that empower students intellectually, socially, emotionally, and politically. By connecting with culture and language, it honors what each student brings to the learning environment. We're focusing on culturally and linguistically responsive schooling. When supporting diverse students, it is beneficial to consider the following. Be affirming, be mindful to provide affirming resources, come from a place of openness, and be purposeful to recognize each person as a unique individual, and provide safe and equitable interactions and workspaces. Remember, as educators, we are the gatekeepers and are responsible to ensure all students feel safe and welcome. It is critical to understand how the school environment under the purview of school personnel can support all students and buffer the consequences of life stressors, including but not limited to acculturative stressors that they may encounter. The goal is to foster a sense of belonging, inclusion, and membership, reciprocity in relationships with peers and school personnel, and feelings being supported and having their needs met. Addressing the barriers associated with negative psychosocial distress can help mitigate the impact of marginalization to one of experiencing academic achievement, personal growth, and satisfaction. As culturally responsive and resourceful educators, we can make a huge difference in the lives of the students we encounter by making a positive difference in the lives of the students we encounter.
Zine and Blanchard stated that schools are institutions where power is controlled by the dominant culture's interests. And ultimately, the dominant culture maintains its values, whereas marginalized students must choose to engage using either the values of the dominant culture or by choosing to resist becoming a part of their own value set. So therefore, it is important that we keep in mind the values and priorities that supports the marginalized diverse student. In the slides, you can see that we've outlined those values. When we think about values, we think about something that is held in high regard, something of worth, something of usefulness, principles of standard behaviors, others' judgment of what is important in life. So what we assessed was that utilizing the 7 steps to increase students' engagement not only addresses the areas of expertise, and these include lived experiences, individuality, uniqueness, and cultural beliefs, it also addresses the students' values and priorities. So what do the marginalized student value in the classroom and in their learning? Well, 2 of the steps to increase the student engagement, which comes from the 7 steps to increase student engagement, addressed not only what aligned the objectives that we're talking about, but it also answered the question pretty clearly. So number 1, know the learner. That's what the student wants. We have a diverse student population that includes predominantly women, veterans, ethnicities, generational differences, and disabilities, where 60%, like I said, are women. The graduate school, we have 20%, about 20% of them are 40 to 60 years of age. Undergrads predominantly have a larger Hispanic population, which is 24 to 18%. And then the diversity Asians, Black, Hispanics, whites. So we want you to look at Explore the Brandman 2017 to 2018 fact book. The second one is Embrace Diversity and Focus on Inclusion. UMass has launched a new Equity, Inclusion, and Diversity Committee, the EIDC. And this committee helps to acknowledge and recognize the diverse backgrounds that we are addressing right now. It listed a couple of other objectives that we'd like you to review. Types of diversity. And we looked at one of the videos during our training that also lists his name, I believe you said, Hofstede's Cultural Dimensions. There were 6 value dimensions that we'd like you to review. Then the Global Leadership and Organization Behavior Effectiveness, which is called GLOBE. Ability-related diversity. This includes the learners with disabilities. So in here, we'd like you to review the Americans with Disabilities Act compliance and accommodations, and also the accessibility standards. We have a phone number listed on the slide for you. Learning preference related diversity. This is where we review the VARC Institute. This talks about the different learning types: visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetic. And then the age-related diversity. Here, you can notice just with our classmates that we have Gen Xers, Gen Ys, Millennials. And then as we continued, we want to address the needs of all learners. So here you want to review the Universal Design for Learning, which is the UDL. And this would help with the principles of presentation, action and expression, and engagement. So let's go to the next slide. I think you have it already, where we looked at the areas, no, go back, thank you, where we looked at the areas of expertise. Here we have to keep in mind what the group of students bring to the classroom, what they do that's good for them, and what they like to focus on. So minus the e-learning barriers that we need to address, and we will talk about that too, there are additional factors outside of the classroom. Again, we reviewed the 7 steps. And what we came up with was a couple of more steps for you to review. Creating a supportive learning community, connecting the students again to technology, and supporting student collaboration. So 3 things to review quickly. Review UMass Center for Instructional Innovation, UMass Academic Writing and Math Support Community, UMass Multimedia Writing and Design Support, and then leverage technology effectively. This is the TPAC model of technological, pedagogical, content knowledge, and also technology mastery. Hammer et al. Stated that exceptional instructors are culturally sensitive, respectful, passionate, and charismatic. They are committed to their craft and practice teaching as an art that requires modification and mastery to impact the diverse, marginalized student. While we believe that mastering the steps listed, in addition to the recommendation of these slides, will support the diverse, marginalized students to the fullest, in addition to the values listed, students value us and expect us to be transparent, present, and knowledgeable. Next slide.
So you will see a few of the resources that Dr. Butler mentioned just now in the student value section. What we really wanted to focus on is giving you all practical resources and tools on how to help your students. Be aware of what UMass offers for students, find local educational resources, and even social media resources. Try to locate COVID resources and crisis resources as well. Be sure to communicate and connect with your UMass mentors. We're also going to talk about creating a circle of support. And this will be an activity that you can use with your students to whatever degree you feel comfortable with. There's also a resource at UMass. You can email them at cares@umassglobal.edu. They help address issues such as food insecurity, mental health concerns, even threat assessments. They do offer some short-term counseling, but they really are trying to find your students resources that they can access in their local community. You also can access the education department and see if your student will benefit from any kind of ADA accommodation, which can include, it'll fall under mental health diagnosis, neurodevelopment, which includes autism, ADHD, learning disabilities, and then there's also some support for students that are pregnant.
When working with diverse and marginalized students, it's important to apply modifications to the content, the class culture, and collaborations. The class culture is a foundation for every aspect of learning and teaching. As instructors, it's important to kind of set the tone just to be ensured that the class environment is safe for the students. This allows the students to be open to feedback and lets the students know that you are open to their feedback. The class culture provides a way for the student to build trust, to feel safe, and engage in effective learning. It is imperative for racism and microaggressions to be addressed in order to be able to set a comfortable learning environment and provides an opportunity for the student. In addition to the class culture, it is important for the instructor to model collaboration. Students need to visualize and practice working together, providing feedback, and openly asking questions to help them learn effectively. A student's background and family systems can impact their academics and their ability to adjust to college life. Some students struggle with multiple stressors, which affects their ability to focus and complete their assignments on time. These stressors may include family conflict, guilt, couple and relational issues, lack of support, financial support, and also living in a very stressful living environment. Other impacts may be because they're having a fear of, just having a fear in general, or being pressured by being the first generational student in their family. They may experience a feel of failing, untreated or treated mental health issues. All of these factors can negatively impact the student and affect their learning experience. We all need families and friends to help push us and achieve our life goals and dreams. So it's important for the students to have that circle of support while they're attending college. A circle of support may be a network of students that that they're able to turn to and during their time for needing assistance or just having someone to talk to.
This is an activity that you can do with your students. You can have your students draw these circles out on a piece of paper, or you can use whiteboard in Zoom. And you'll have the student identify their closest supports in the inner circle, and then their next layer of support, and then their next layer of support. And that way we can really identify natural resources and even help grow the natural supports around the student. These are resources that we've provided on confronting biases if you all are interested in further reading. And that concludes our presentation.
We'd like to repeat this statement. While we believe that mastering the steps listed, in addition to the recommendations of these slides, will support the diverse, marginalized student to the fullest, we gave great information. In addition to the values listed, students value us, and they expect us to be transparent, present, and knowledgeable. Thank you so much. We hope you get a lot from this presentation.